the Lui Diaz podcast.
I want to go back to your story though too. I want to go back to when you were finally finished with the army.
Yes.
What was the next move that you had in mind? What was your plan then?
It wasn't a plan. It was just me moving back to Melbourne. I didn't plan it. I just threw a black rock behind me. A black rock. I didn't look back.
What does that mean? What is the significance
It's just a black
of that?
rock, like just a rock.
Is that like some kind of omen?
Yeah, I don't know.
do?
That's what they all do. Bang, and then I just came back
It's
to
a
Melbourne.
Greek thing?
Yeah, I think so. Why
To
don't
just go, oh, the past is now behind me?
The past is behind me. I'm
Yeah.
moving on. And then I came back to Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said in episode 52, I came back, was in the family business, making seafood, and just continued from there, mate. And I found
So it
my
was
own
like a
way. I
whole-
had to find my own path. Despite it, I had my father or my mother there.
Yeah.
Because my parents divorced, mate, when I was young. So that affected me. You know, I think because I grew up in a family environment. My grandfather,
Yeah.
my grandmother, my cousins, and you know, I'm 52 today. You know, because we come here on our own, guys.
Yeah.
And then we leave on our own. But to have a particular person next to us, Louis, I think it's important. You know, or just to ask. You know, and probably not to say anything, just to be there. So
Yeah, I understand. No, I'm just reflecting a lot.
I'm
on what
reflecting.
you're saying.
You know, just me with you being here.
Yeah.
Me and you can just sit here and just look at these people. Just look at them, Louis. All right, we can just sit there and look at them, and not say nothing. And I tell you, just from us being here, these amazing people could feel our energy
It's a good vibe. It's very chill.
right now, isn't it? Huh? I could feel it.
It's nice to have, like a conversation like this with someone where we're just, listening to each other's perspectives. You have got a lot of experience that is, not is uncommon.
But you have too, mate. I'm sure you. You know what? Hey, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
I mean, we all do.
I know you do. I know you do, mate.
That's the most fun part about this podcast is like, when I sit down across from someone and they reveal all these things that like it blows your mind about like their journey and what they've been through.
That's just Louis.
Yeah, I mean, like I had Joel Temperley on recently. I just released part 2 of that episode this morning. And, this guy is a stand-up comedian. You watch all of his stuff on social media. It's all related to his comedy and it's very dark humor at times. But, he sat in front of me and told me all this crazy journey about, just deciding to quit his job at the ACCC and take up English teaching
ACCC.
and moving to China. And that's where he met his Russian girlfriend. And then eventually he went to Russia. People have these incredible stories. And there's so many lessons. There's so many lessons that people learn along the way. I mean, one of the things that I enjoy about this process is that, we have a life, we have a path, and therefore we have many lives and paths that we don't have, and we don't get to take and choose because of the path that was either bestowed upon us, or we chose. All right, and it's fascinating to hear how someone comes to similar conclusions to you. Like we might agree on a certain philosophical point about life, but we came to that through different experiences and different angles. And that brings me a lot of hope and joy because it means that actually, even though we're so radically different, we're actually so much the same in many ways. It's a nice thing to reflect on. And you remind me of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier in the broadcast, when I lost those 3 particular people, and, you might be sitting here and saying, because I mentioned that my father passed away last night in the Austin Hospital, and amazing people there, man. I cannot, grateful. It probably hasn't hit me yet, and this is why I wanted to come and continue this thing, because I promised you this, and I always keep my word, Louis. When I say something...
That's a rare thing these days.
And you know what? I've realised that there's a rare thing on anyone to be able to do what I have. And I know I'm special, but everyone's special too. Some people, Now, it hit me, Louis. It hit me. Those 3 people, to me, they might have not been family, but they played a sentimental part of my journey. So
It reminds me of some phone calls I need to make. Yeah.
you will. You'll make them.
Nah, I should make
And
them
I'm telling
soon.
you, Lou, you know, Mallory, 27. And, you know, when I did a Temps graffiti down here, I put it, rest in peace, Mel.
Mm.
And then when I did the temple down there, I put the, you know, and it's with Mal, the situation, she reached out to me. This girl reached out to me because we were in lockdown at that time, Louis. And she reached out to me, and because I was busy at that time looking after my mate's dad and my dad too, and other things that I don't want to disclose, I want to keep that a little bit private. And, you know, it's got nothing to do with other people. Because, you know, I said to my mate, you know, what, you know, and she called me on May the 14th for my birthday. And you know, hey, you know, happy birthday, Pete. She was like a daughter to me, mate. All right. And the night before she passed away, Louis, I couldn't sleep. And I remember it. I was staying at my mate's dad's house in Northcote. And he said, hey, what's going on? Because the old man used to sleep at the front. I used to sleep at the back. Hey, he called me. He said, why can't you sleep? I said, Kubare. Because he goes, Kubare. He said, Kubare, I can't sleep. He goes, all right, I'm not going to sleep too. When he said, it was like, if you're not going to sleep, I'm not going to sleep. So we used to get up, and I went for a walk. And that night, Louis, when I was walking around Northcote, around the park, I could see owls.
Really?
I seen owls. And then the next morning, because I used to box at Lionel Rose's gym in Collingwood every Wednesday, 11:30 to 12, and anyone could go down there with a donation. There's a guy named Andy that does the thing down there. Amazing. You don't do boxing because you're going to box people. It's more because of the mental health, physical, you know, keeping your heart exercised. And I remember that morning, I'll call my mate, I'll call the other friends and people that I had to call every morning. No one would answer the phone. And I'm thinking, that's fucking weird. Why are they not answering the phone? So then it didn't hit me at that time. So they must have all knew, because it went on to social media. Because she was a real well known and beautiful, very attractive is one thing, but very beautiful soul. Oh, good heart. 27, man. Like, you know, and that's what fucking breaks me more. Like, she reached out to me, and when I asked someone else, hey, man, like, what, you know, and that next morning when I was at boxing, I got the phone call from my mate, because he must have told him, don't tell anyone. Let me tell him, because I was very close with this guy. And then that's where I found the news, and then, you know, like I said, a bit later on, his dad passed away, and then my stepdad, and then it was like honestly, Lou, this electric thing hit me, mate. I just cut everyone off. I just thought, not because I don't love them. I love them. And I appreciate everyone, every single of those people. But losing these 3 people, especially that young 27-year-old girl, it was, because I worked with this girl too, where I was working with imports. It was because I seen her rise, you know what I'm saying? And having all the, you know, what does the other person think, Louis? You know, what does that other person think to take their own life? This is where I'm not in that part of, I don't know, because I've sat down sometimes to think of that. You know, why would someone go this far? Couldn't they reach out? But she did reach out. This is why I've gone more deep about it. She did reach out. Hey, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Because we've got our own stuff going in our life, we can't just see the little things. You know how we were before here just reflecting and not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even need to talk, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Am I right, Lou?
Yeah, you are.
We don't even, you know, you and me, for the next 2 minutes, we don't even need to see nothing. We can just sit here and do this. All right? And I bet you, I bet you there'll be more people here like this watching us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's making me think a lot about recent thoughts that I've had, for sure.
Just remember, mate, there's people that care, mate. You know what I'm saying, Lou? And yeah, man, I'm being honest. I'm not going to sit here and lie, man. Like I might have lost my father bloody last night. And I know at some point I'm going to cry and all this shit. But when he was alive, man, that's what did we do when he was alive? Not when he passes fucking away, man. It's too late then. You know what I'm saying, Lou?
I know what you're saying.
I remember with Mel.
I'm guilty.
Man, we're all are. Even I am, Lou. I remember with Mel, I was working for the Chinese. I don't want to say the name of the Chinese company. When I was working in the Chinese company in the imports and promotional clothing, she was the receptionist there, all right?
Is that how you met?
No. I've known her, all right? But she got a job there, all right? And we could become real close because she had a girlfriend, you know, that was dating someone in the nightclubs. And it's a small, like I said before, man, Melbourne's a very small place, you understand? So what happened was, one of her new boyfriends, hello, ladies. This is Lui the Rockstar. Say hello, Lui the Rockstar. He owns the broadcast. I'm just his friend. We're just chit-chatting about normal stuff, life.
Thank you. You sure can. That'd be great.
Man. He's the man.
I'd love it if you did, actually. That'd be very nice.
He'll love it. Yeah, you can come over here and I'll take a photo with him. Give me your phone. Go over there. Come on. You get over on the other side.
All
One
right.
over
No,
there.
well,
Yeah.
Just on this side is fine.
Come on.
It's a bit hard to get around the other side.
Mate, Rockstar Lui. Oh, with the love hearts. One more.
Thank
How
you.
good's that? Hey.
What's your name?
I'm Keely and this is Lucy.
Where are you from? Peter.
Country Victoria.
Where?
From country, like about 3 hours north.
Dalesford?
No, 3 hours, like,
Horsham.
Shepparton.
no, more.
Echuca.
Like, think more west.
Where? It's
Bendigo.
More.
Ballarat. Out that
What?
way.
Stall Gift.
More.
Warrnambool.
No.
Mate, she's talking about country.
These girls are...
Towards Adelaide.
No. Towards Mildura.
Oh!
I love country people
that's
because
nice.
they're so
nice.
open and friendly.
No, good on you, man.
It's so rare to meet
No,
such
good on
open,
you,
friendly
ladies.
people. Of course, you're from the country.
That's good, man.
I love stopping for a yap.
Yeah.
Everyone we like to yap. We're having a yap here, you know what I'm saying? We're talking we're yapping, mate. We like to yap. That's good.
Thanks, Keely. Well, nice to meet you, Keely.
Nice to meet you. See you.
Nice to meet
Have
you,
a good
Lucy.
day,
Take
ladies.
care.
Bye-bye. See, they're amazing.
Yeah, some good souls here.
Hello.
Hi.
Come here. Say hello. Come here.
No, they're shy. They're shy.
They're shy. This is
Hi.
Louis. He's the broadcaster of this show.
What's your name?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Take a thing.
What's your name?
He's
Shelley. Nice to meet you, Shelley.
He's the rock star. I'm just his security guard for
Got
the
to
day.
stop calling you a rock star. I'm getting
You are, mate. Come on,
self-conscious.
mate.
I don't like. Thank you. See you, Shelley.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
sir. All right, we need to focus.
All right. Anyway, we're
Thank
gonna.
you.
It's good that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's nice.
Cool.
It breaks it up a bit.
It breaks it up. All right. Let's
You know what'll break it up a bit more? Lunch. Can we do that?
Let's just wait a bit. Let's
All
just.
right. All right. Okay. No,
How long?
that's
How long
me.
has it gone now?
We're over an hour now.
That's all right. We've got a bit more. How long more do you want to do it?
It doesn't feel right to stop now.
No. All right. Let's just go.
Let's just keep doing what feels right.
All right. So what we're talking
you tell me
about-
when you want
All
to
right.
stop.
So then, let's go back to the Mel thing, and then she met this new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And we used to chat and whatever. At that time, I was married, and I used to live in Malvern, East Malvern, with my wife. And sometimes I'll get the transport, and Mel she was living at her grandmother's or whatever in the city, and we'll talk and that. Hey, Peter, do you want to come to this boxing that Toby's, boxing, whatever? I said, yeah, all right, get me some tickets. Anyway, so I got my father-in-law and all the other stuff. I'm looking everywhere, mate. I'm focusing here, whatever. So we got the tickets. We went to the Malvern, and how we walked in there, So, I always encouraged her, so I never had a sister, friend, like she was young, mate. And having all these people, because she had a big connection of friends. She was she was very fit. She was a dancer. She was in, very athletic person. And she was in part of the nightclubs too, I think, at the end of it. And then having all these beautiful people around her, wouldn't someone have seen it, mate? And that was one particular thing, Louis. Now, with the old man later, he was old, he got an infection, he passed away. With my stepfather, it was a little bit different. I think he had cancer, different story. But with my stepfather, I couldn't say goodbye to him.
How come? What happened?
Because they tried to keep it away from me, I think. My family, my mother and all that. Yeah. Now, that's another political stunt that they did on me because I was very close with my stepfather. Man, I used to talk to him every 2 days. Thessaloniki, Melbourne, Thessaloniki, at Pitt, how are you? I was more closer to him than my real, I could talk to him more different things to my dad that raised me. So then I questioned myself, and now that my dad passed away, this is like the cherry on the cake, Louis, and I'm not going to put my swords down now this time, and like we've spoken about boundaries before, I've taken a different path, Louis,
Yeah.
I have.
What is that different path? Explain it.
Different path of...
what are you talking about? I've taken a different path.
A different path of... I'm not going back to the past.
Yeah.
All right, it is. It's damn so it's there.
Yeah.
But people are going to have to accept it, and I'm going to have to... If it's bullshit, Louis, it's like now. If you think I've done something wrong, and not something wrong, nah, mate. Bang.
Boundaries.
Not just only boundaries. There's more than just boundaries.
What is there?
There's other things that come with the boundaries.
Like what?
I had a phone call just before you were setting up, and this particular guy, and I'll tell you a thing, this particular guy is someone that knows someone that I grew up in Dalesford, because my family's in Dalesford, and my cousin's there. And these are the people that I grew up, man. I wasn't hand-spooned. I might have been hand-spooned until I was 14, 15, for whatever reason. But later on, I wasn't hand-spooned. Everything I did, I had to work hard for it. And you know what? Out of every single of these people, they all know I should have had, not hand-spooned, mate, multi-million-dollar businesses. And unfortunately, I had to learn something because better days are coming for me. This was the last chapter with my father. I know, I feel it because I'm making it happen. I'm not waiting for someone to come and save me because no one's going to come out and save you. You got to fucking save yourself. And that's what I've realized. And every person plays a particular role. But what it was, when this guy called me today to say, something about my father, he's got no family here. And the wife that he married, this guy, her cousin, Perry, he went to jail because whatever the reason was. But I remember this guy, Perry, when I was young, he'd always look after me. Always. And when someone's doing it hard, even if they're going to jail or whatever, it shows who's going to fucking be there for you, man. And you know what I've realized? The people that are my family, from my mother's part of the side, they're all full of shit. And that's the saddest thing. They're all full of shit. All materialized fuckers. You understand? All materialized fuckers. And don't worry, all the best to them, mate. All material.
They just prioritize different things that aren't as important as human life.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When my father was in the hospital, doesn't matter what floor he was, I might have not, I'll say thank you to the nurses, and I might be nice. It doesn't mean because I'm flirting with you. Just be nice. How do you tell? I'll buy chocolates or give them flowers. And sometimes I'll get newspapers, and I don't like to talk about this shit, It's not shit, but give newspapers to the other patients, or might shave another old man in there, man, that's all it is, man. Like, you know. Anyway, and then Chris, the guy that Chris called me to say about my dad, that's when I realised, because his wife's cousin Perry said he's seen me somewhere, and he goes, you know what? I've always knew that Peter was always special. And you know, when I ran into Peter in Smith Street, he said, he was with two other people. And one guy, because he said one comment he said to me, and he was 7 foot, and I just said to him, mate, you know what, mate? You're no good, mate. And then I grabbed the other bloke and I said, hey, don't hang around with this idiot. I said it straight. And that guy on the phone call, he mentioned it. Mate, if I'd listened to what Peter said then, he was on it. But he already knew that I'm always on it. But everyone's tuned. It's been tuned within yourself, mate.
I mean, you are taking me on a journey today, for sure.
I know I am.
I don't even know where we're at anymore. I think I've lost us.
I know that. I know that.
I've lost us.
Because we're talking about this, we're talking about that.
And a lot of this stuff
There's
is
a
so
lot of stuff. It's
personal to you, and there's names being dropped that are just like you know.
No, I'm just talking to you about my life, mate.
Yeah.
You know, about stuff that actually fucking happened, mate.
Yeah.
You know, tragic. Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
People have made mistakes. You know, other people, you know. Hello, ladies. This is
Hello. I'm Louis. Nice to meet
Louis,
you.
and I'm Peter. Lovely to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Have a look at that.
Have a lovely day. Take care.
Anyway, so, you know, I try to, you know, understand it all. Yeah. And, you know, it's, look, I'm not, I don't sit there and think what I'm going to say. It's how I feel.
Yeah. What are you going to do now? Like, what's your next move?
With what? With my father, with my life?
Yeah. And, yeah.
With
your
my
life.
father?
With your life.
I'm just taking, you know what, Louis?
You take things day by day. I know.
Louis, you cannot plan things anymore, Louis.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you this.
I think
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
With experience.
But I think I've been guilty of not planning really much enough, and I've found myself in a place where I don't know if I'm totally feel like I've lived to my full potential yet, and maybe I feel like part of that is through a lack of planning. You know what I mean? And so I understand this, and hear me out. I understand this, like, take each day as it comes. Don't plan anything. I believe in that because I've seen, like, when I was younger, I would see people that made plans and they had all these hopes and dreams, and suddenly they were shattered. And it made, like, that gave me this sense that, hang, life has to be taken not too seriously, not too planned, day by day, but also, like, life is a long journey. There has to be there's some virtue in, like, setting goals for yourself for the future, because it gives you a path. It gives you something to focus on. Focus is good, you know. Discipline is good. We talked about all these things. And, you know, like, there's the thing where if you live long enough to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself, there's a sense of accomplishment that is then encoded into your DNA that will live on. You know, I think there's...
Let me just say one thing. Right?
Yeah.
No,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying. But when you put yourself in a scenario, what I've seen with my father, and I'm sure other people have gone the same thing with their parents.
Yeah.
And I've seen, look, the reason that it's not hurting me harder, you know, losing my father, because a lot of people say, because I lost my grandfather. I was there when my grandfather passed away at 18 in Greece.
You were 18.
I was 18.
Yeah.
So I went to Greece, all right, when I went to Europe to do, you know, to live there, whatever. My grandfather was there. So that was the whole reason I went there. And I experienced that on my own at 18. I had no family or parents there. And my aunties and that, mate, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that happen at 18, and then I stayed on my own in Greece. Hey, mate, how are you? Good, buddy. So I stayed there, and I experienced it all, and I stayed there with my. So I understand it about losing someone. I've been through it, but it doesn't mean that I've got to stop my life. And this is why I've sort of taken it day by day. And when I've planned stuff, I don't sit there and just plan it. I'm going to do these. Because if it's going to be like that, go into a hospital and volunteer there for 1 bloody week or 2 months, and then start talking to the nurses and all the doctors in there, and then come back and talk to me
about plans.
About plans, mate. The other day I went and got some flowers for the nurses, and the lady that sold me the flowers, she told me she had breast cancer. And you know what her words are? I'm just taking it day by day. So how do you plan things? Oh, I'm going to go for a holiday. Yeah. You plan it, all right. But you can't plan on next year. You do things
incrementally.
Slowly. Just put, next year I'm going to plan for,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
I think what you're saying is that there's an illusion of time that we have. Like there's this, we're under this illusion.
It's all crap, mate.
Some of us aren't.
I think time can. Yeah. No, but time can freeze too.
Mm.
You can freeze time.
What happens when you live like today's your last day and it's not? Like you're reckless with some of your actions, like financially, you've been irresponsible. You pay the price because you wake up the next morning and you fucked up. Like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have spent all my money at the casino.
That's a different ball game too. And a lot of people have probably gone through that, and a lot of people have probably lost their life because of that.
Yeah.
Losing their money and then not having, I've heard stories about all that.
Yeah.
From Greek families, people that were playing cards and all that, and then the wife will go into the my kids haven't got no milk, and then, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stories, but how do you judge a person like that?
No, you can't.
Can you judge a person?
No.
So I'm sure the other people say, yeah, there's the $200-300 for your milk.
Yeah.
I've heard stories like that before.
Yeah.
So it's just, let's just be grateful, man. Back to, episode 52. Let's be.
Yeah.
See, I still got.
Yeah.
I still got the smile on my face.
You do. You do. We talked about that in the first time.
And I always will. And let me take my eyes off, my glasses.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure.
Keep your eyes on. Take the glasses off.
I'll take the glasses off, and let's just see what my eyes. And I'm sure that you will be able to read something different than like no. Look.
What am I supposed to be seeing? I think you look a little tired. You look a bit somber. Yeah.
Because I went to bed at 3:00, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you were hoping that I would pick up something a little more profound there, but honestly, sometimes I don't know.
I'm a little bit.
Sometimes I don't know.
I'm a little bit.
I'm not always on your level, Peter. You know what I mean? That's why I sit here quiet so much. I just like to absorb what you say, and I like to just listen. Because I think there's some things that you say that I don't understand, but most of it I do understand, and I'm really grateful that you talk about some of this stuff, because I think we're so bereft, like it's so missing from some of our our role models in society, talking about like the deep real shit that kind of happened, and those moments in our life that shaped us. Where are those conversations these days? Everyone's doing TikTok dances and everyone's chasing clout. That's what I love about this podcast, is that, mate, I'm not chasing any clout. I just want to have one more beautiful, deep conversation before I die. The next one.
That's right. But the reason I call you a rock star is because,
which is hard for me to hear, because it's
no. But the reason I say that, I say it to everyone, man, because everyone's.
You do. To be fair, you call everyone a rock star.
Yeah, man. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in, man, because we're all are.
It just feels as though that should be reserved for rock stars. And there's this funny ad on TV.
Everyone is.
That this bloody software company from Silicon Valley makes fun of corporate people that call each other rock stars for doing PowerPoint presentations in boardrooms and stuff like that. And it's just funny. It's just a piss take on the word rock star because it's overused in the wrong environments. And I love that they take the piss out of that. It's Workday, I think, is the company. I'm just like, mate, you are not a rock star. And then what they've done is they've put actual rock stars in their ads. And like, I think not Bowie, it was Billy Idol. Billy Idol's in one of them. The drummer from Blink-182 is in one of them. There's this awesome female act. She they put actual rock stars in these boardrooms with these corporate stiffs. It's
so
funny.
how would it? Mate,
It's a funny ad because
I reckon they.
anyway.
Yeah, but if they real rock stars go into these boards, how would they? Let's have a cigarette. Come on.
I'll tell you what.
How would they feel?
Well,
I reckon
they feel a bit out of place because
Yeah.
some of those environments are so contrived. You know, like they're so. You know, everyone thinks that they're doing this monumental, incredible, world-changing work, and in a way they kind of are. But like, it's, the stuff that happens in these offices is so boring. Like, it's so boring compared to the stuff that actually happens out there in real life in the world. And I love that you talk so much, and it's got a lot to do with the current experience that you've had. Yeah. But I love that you talk so much about the medical professionals, doctors and nurses and stuff, because they're the real heroes. They're the real rock stars in our society.
Man.
Like if you can save a life, like, you're worth your weight in gold.
Let me tell you something. It's not about saving a life, Louis. It's about being there.
Yeah.
It's about being there. Our medical people here in Australia and emergency services, all emergency services. I don't want to get into which ones and that. Doesn't matter what bloody government goes into place. There should be a regulation and policy with all Australian governments that these people
they need to be protected. Yeah,
will always be protected. Yeah. Always stamped, signed, delivered regulation.
Yeah,
because I don't think people understand, mate. And when talking to the nurse the other night at the hospital, mate, because we had a deep conversation, she said, after working here, what am I going to believe in? Religion or this? Think about it, mate. You got to respect everyone. See, they not only Luke, not only these people have got to follow everyone's different religion in the hospital and respect it. Then they got to follow the medical for the client and the patient. Is that right? How hard is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of ethical...
There's Catholic, there's Orthodox, there's Jewish, there's Muslim, there's all this. They've got to respect every person's. Man, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a tough gig.
It's a tough gig, mate. Emergency workers should always be.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So, it's and there it is, mate. The hearts, Louis. The hearts, and I hope someone just comes and does something beautiful, man. And there's, like I said, we've got a lot of beautiful artists, man, in Australia. And to see the kids come down here, man, like there should be a festival here, man. You know what I'm saying? In this bloody laneway here, like Hosier. A festival every year, mate.
We have a lot of festivals.
No.
We have a lot of festivals.
No, here. In this,
I don't know if it's big enough for a festival, bro. Like, what, you're going to fit like 1,000 people in here?
A festival. It's going to be a festival for.
You wave to the attractive ones.
No,
Peter.
I don't. I don't wave to everyone.
joking.
Hello.
Do you mind if I take a photo?
Absolutely
You
not.
can do whatever you'd like.
Absolutely not. I don't mind.
No, he's being cheeky.
No.
He's a cheeky bugger.
I mean, I don't.
Hit him over the head with the umbrella.
I'll even smile.
Hit him over the head with the umbrella. You got my permission. Here.
Hidden secrets.
Yeah. Give me the umbrella. You can take a photo with
You're
it.
kidding. Yeah. This is a bloody secret. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
All right.
Yoo-hoo. Fabulous. Thank you.
All right, you happy? Hang on. Right.
Let me hold it.
You hold it because it's yours. It's your thing.
Wonderful.
Are you happy?
There you go. Beautiful.
Now hit him over the head with
Now,
it.
please, can you please tag me in that photo? Because I would love to see that.
I like your hat.
Thank you.
Tha-
We need a bit more photos.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Take care.
Have a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. See? See, mate?
That
Hey,
was nice.
Hey.
Oh, no, Temps, you've got
Rockstar.
special energy.
Hey, rockstar here.
Special
rockstar.
energy. Yeah.
Hey. Listen, man.
Well, you've been ever
know-
since we met, you've been a nice supporter of
I
what
love
I'm
it,
doing
man.
here as well. I just want to say thank you because I haven't officially said it on air, and say thank you for your support and your encouragement. You call me. I can't always talk because I have a
Nah,
day job.
You're busy, mate. You're busy, and you got.
But I do appreciate.
You're busy.
It's a long game that I'm playing here.
You just got to
and-
stick to it, mate. All right, you got to stick to it. Just stick to it. You'll be fine. Stick to it. I think it's keeping you out of trouble. All right. And if you ever need to chat to anyone, my
It is
telephone's 24 hours for you, mate. Not because of this. It's not because of this.
I
I
know.
don't care about
I
this,
know.
mate.
I think
This is to me.
We want beyond that.
It's not about this. I think you've given me an understanding about something, and you're helping me in other ways that it'll unfold eventually, and I'll be able to see it. Because sometimes I could be too ahead, and this is why even before you said you've lost me, Temps, because there's some things that I can't even explain. I can't even probably talk about it. Like how am I going to talk about spirituality, or I've had this experience, or this has happened to me, and mate, this guy could be crazy, or he's delusional. But you know what? 6 months later, he's not delusional. Mate, he said that because I leave. What happens? I leave like something in someone's mind, mate, and they don't just see me again. It's like a deja vu.
You know what? What I will do, I'll give you this. You're consistent. Like I think that energy that you brought to our first recording is still here. So,
Yeah, man, it's not going to move.
So if people are wondering, people that aren't used to seeing a character as open as yourself and as, charismatic as yourself and as willing to talk about anything as yourself, they're wondering, is this a show? Is this guy putting this on?
No.
Well, it's really clear. It's really clear because like every time you talk to me, it's the same. It's
See,
same
I'm having
Peter.
a cigarette on your show, where the last time I didn't, now I am, and only because of not the bad news, but whatever. And
Sure, I'm happy to join you.
like, yeah, what is it what show, man? This is live, real, and
Yeah, exactly. It's not really even a show, is it? I was thinking of changing the name to show, but then I've gone back. Someone talked me out of it. Just said People's Podcast.
just leave it, mate. Leave it the way it is, mate. Why change it?
Oh, like you're always thinking about how to evolve things and where you want to take things next.
Sometimes when you change it, it doesn't work out. But when you leave it real like this, eventually it's just going to blow up, mate. It will. And even if it doesn't,
I'm enjoying it.
enjoy it. And the more you enjoy it, it'll just, mate.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I enjoy this. You can feel that.
I think it's, you might be going, I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist, but with experience, I could be sitting here and, talking about some things with you, and it could be triggering you, like in the sense of, not in a bad way,
talk
probably
about a lot of-
giving you reflection, on
Yeah.
things that I'm speaking about,
Yeah, I'm forthcoming about that. You have made me think.
But
it's
you've
good.
making me think too.
Yeah, it's good. We
You know?
we don't have these chats with people often.
No.
The ones that reflective ones. The ones where we, reflect on our methods and processes in life and the things that we're doing well and the things that we could be doing better and the things that we, are taking for granted. Yeah, like we're busy. We're so busy that we just don't do this very often. And that's what this podcast does for me. It helps me get into that zone with people and helps my guests often really, they come, we stop the recording and we'll give each other a big high five and be like, that was special, that was good, that was great. And it's because I know that they're missing it too, you know, because we're all so busy. So, it's meaningful. This is a meaningful project. It's not just a guy that's trying to do a podcast. It's named it after himself. It's chasing clout, wants to be the next Joe Rogan. No. I just think that we're missing these chats and that we need more of them.
Deep chats.
And that I just want...
Very deep.
Like, I enjoy recording them because it means that I get to go back. It means I get to go back and that people get to go back and that people get to discover them. There's still people watching our first episode that we did together. Daily, people are watching.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jesus. Jesus, man.
Yeah, so, there's people...
I'm surprised it went up to 700 views, man.
Yeah.
Like, mate, why am I that... Like, how about... Everyone's important, man, but this is how I see it, Lou. Even all those people on your broadcast show, to me, and I haven't gone through most of them, just some of them, everyone's different and important to me. I took a little bit, but Dan... Out of all of them, I don't know. Probably because I met him.
You did meet him. Yeah, I remember.
Probably because I met Dan. And, the general, I think was the general thing.
Yeah.
We just got generaled.
Yeah, we just got general.
We just got generaled.
I do remember that.
Dan's, I don't know, there's something about Dan, like...
Dan is, Dan's good because he doesn't shy away from, talking about his journey as one that's laced in risk and imperfection. And, he talks a lot about in that episode. Actually, he talks about his dad and his relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
And, how he's kind of not the son that maybe his dad hoped he'd have. And he's, it feels as though to be able to even talk about something like that and to be comfortable to reflect on stuff like that it shows that Dan's got a lot of really, a powerful sense of introspection in some ways.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that his comedy can be really raw and a bit nuts at times. But, like he has this introspective power that, is admirable. I think that's what sort of draws people to listening to a guy like Dan. He's just like, well, yeah, it's not a perfect journey.
No, but nothing's perfect. Even that other guy that you had on the what was his name?
What did he look like?
With the hat. I can't remember him. Say one of his...
Indian guy.
No, not the Indian. After Dan. James...
Liotta.
No. Not the Italian comedian. He's a classic.
Yeah, he is.
He's a classic.
He's good.
He's at a different level.
He is.
But the older guy talking about boundaries.
Troy King.
Yeah. Man.
All right, Troy's got a lot of experience.
Man.
Troy's
Another
been through
guy.
Stuff.
No. Another guy.
He was a Jehovah's Witness.
Mate.
I did 2 episodes with Troy.
Mate, with Troy?
Yeah.
Man.
One we did
That
in
was
an
like...
office. Yeah. One we recorded in an office.
The one that you did here, man.
Yeah.
With Troy?
You should listen to the first one I did with Troy. It's really good too.
Because he's talking about boundaries,
Yeah.
and narcissistics, and, and we all have a little bit of that in us.
100%.
All right?
100%.
No one's perfect, but,
Yeah.
And like I said, some of the people most of them on your show, I reflect, man. And I'm sure, like you said about what Dan said, his father, my father didn't probably wanted me to be that, but I had the opportunity. I got married, I had homes, I was worth a lot, but it didn't work out. But there was probably factors in my life that people got involved to, and I allowed them because I had trust in them, but they probably were the problem in my journey. You get it?
Yeah.
The ones that were close to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean,
It's
always
never-
the people
it's never
that are
the-
closest to
Mate,
us that can hurt us the most,
Mate,
isn't it?
it's not the strangers. It's always these people. Hello, guys. How are you? It's all. I'm good, thank you. So I'm just talking so I can get them to,
I know.
Yeah, I'm here, like, and then I'm just,
I know. You're enjoying yourself.
I'm enjoying myself.
I'm glad.
Despite what's happened, last night with my father, rest his soul. I loved him. He was a good man, mate. Like, fuck, he just wanted love and peace, and you know what I'm saying, with people. And yeah. Have a look around, Lou. Look at the colours,
Yeah.
mate. Hey, just have a look.
Now the sun's come in.
The sun's come out. The love hearts, Lou. The love hearts. Hey,
It's looking good, man.
Look, a lot of good things around here. Watch, a lot of beautiful things.
I love it, man.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this is like, to me here, man, I could just sit there for 8 hours and just act like cool and be a part of the balcony or the furniture. And man, the energy, I'll bring the energy. Do you want me to tell you a little thing?
Oh, please.
All right. I did a bit of security.
You did some security.
I did. I'm not going to say when, whatever. And when I went there to do it, there was a big bloke. And it was like probably, they needed 2 people. But then because the place picks up, it's a pool hall, whatever, DJ, blah, 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 all different characters here. I'm not going to, different characters. A bit of a DJ, nightclub, pool hall. I go, hey, man, how are you? Good. I goes, because I knew of the guy. I go, listen. He goes, what do you want to work? Door thing? I said, look, you know more. You work the door, I'll be on the floor. All right? The people, the managers and all that, they were setting me up to see if I'm going to, everything went well, whatever.
What? To see if you're going to what?
If I was going to bungle.
Yeah, okay.
Because they, broken glass, how you going to treat people, blah, blah, blah. They all love me, man. So when I spoke to the guy that, gave me the position there to, work a little bit, couple of hours, he said, mate, if they didn't call me, that means they love you. But I said to him, no, this and this happened. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. Let me tell you, if someone comes to your venue and they've spent $600-700 and they're drunk,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're going to kick them out?
I think there's action you can take before.
No, you don't even. First of all, you don't even kick them out.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to smart.
Well, it just depends, how loose they're getting.
No, even if they get loose,
Well, if they're
it's
abusing
your
other people.
duty of care. No. Your duty of care to get a taxi,
Oh, yeah.
put them in a
yeah.
taxi or an Uber, and make sure they get home safe. Because if something happens, this is what it's all about. It's all about caring. So, you understand? So,
Yeah,
whatever
I
role you are playing in, whatever, a doctor, security guard, or whatever, you got to think. Not many people think about that. Do you understand?
I get it.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this incident, it made me realise all these different people, cultures, white, black, green, religious, whatever, they're all there to have a good time. You're going to get some idiot or whatever. And it's usually the people that know the DJ, the people that know the venue people are the ones that cause the problems. It's never the ones, it's never the visitors. And I'm sure you know this, Lou, with your experience and,
Yeah.
that you've been involved,
yeah, I've
working.
seen some things, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So,
I've seen some things, yeah. Yeah, for
so
sure.
you got to be, let's just be grateful, man.
Yeah, 100%, for sure. Well, I am grateful. I'm grateful that you made the time to come back and do this with me again. Yeah, I'm grateful for the cheesecake.
We've got a sausage roll. We'll have it later.
We should.
We'll have it later.
Yeah, we should.
We'll have it later.
But I think
Off camera.
Yeah.
We want to put some tomato sauce and chew on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can do that.
Yeah.
But I think we're at a good time now. I think it's probably time that we closed this one out and left some more for maybe next time we chat.
You could talk. You could ask me one last thing. All right.
Yeah.
Before we close up, whatever you want.
Yeah.
One.
I want to know, like, if you could go back in time, actually, to any time in your life, what time in your life would you want to just relive again for a day? If there was a moment that you'd go, I'd love to have that day back.
None of it.
Really?
And I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why none of it. Because it was all beautiful. I enjoyed it. Even if it was bad or good, it's got me here today. Because it was part of it, being here.
Sure.
Think about it.
And not necessarily
No,
like,
but if I'm
what
gonna,
would you change? But like, was there a day that you spent with someone or something that you'd be like,
all
"I
of
could
it.
do it again."
All
All of it.
of it, man.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
No, but think about it.
Yeah.
None of it, but all of it.
Mm.
How could I go way back? It happened,
Yeah.
you know? But to enjoy it, you see, it's a...
I know. It
see what it...
it speaks to the fact that you really are all about the here and now, because I think that question was potentially, any other answer would have contradicted what you said earlier about living day by day. But you gave the perfect answer.
No,
to
but,
stay true to that mindset of living day by day. You were like, all of it. And I wouldn't change anything.
but I would love...
But I love every day I've had.
Louis, let me just say something. Every interaction, see, even these interactions that we said hello to these people, it's all energy. Money's energy. This is energy. That's energy. It's all energy. So how could I turn it back? That's part already now. And some of these people could say, you know what? And I know, man, and I'm sure with you too, Louis, people will say, you know what, man, despite what's happened, good or bad, I was part of his journey.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So how could I go back? Oh, my dad passed away last night. Let me just rewind it. I should have done this. No.
Yeah.
No. What?
You did everything.
I did everything.
You could do.
Mate, the hospital did everything.
Yeah.
Mate, how am I going to, when time comes, I'm going to write a beautiful letter. And you know what? I even said this, Louis. I am going to volunteer at the Austin Hospital at some point to walk in there whenever I want to. Not when, today I'm here, here's my suit, whatever I need to wear, and go around the hospital and just talk to everyone.
Like a Patch Adams.
Yeah.
You know that movie?
Yeah, man. I
want
to do it. That's something that I will. And every month I'll be going at the front at Olivia Newton-John's and putting flowers there.
Olivia Newton-John.
Hospital.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Well said. And I think thank you again for coming here and doing this with me again. It's been really great to chat to you.
No, thank you, Louis.
It's been a real pleasure. And
we spoke about a lot of things. And,
did.
I think now you're more...
Well,
I must have touched your heart because I could feel it.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, you did. And I think, like there was that thing about our first recording being so off
totally
the cuff
different,
and being so quick, and then me forgetting to record the first 10 minutes of it. I felt like, I owed it to you to have you back. We tried to arrange it. We finally made it happen. It's just because I wanted you to have the same opportunity that I give all my guests, which is to sit here and hash it out for as long as we can, not just like a quick rush. But also, like I said before, I think it was the realization that the episode that we did together has obviously, kept on. It's keep getting views. People keep watching it. That there's obviously a hunger for people out there to listen to someone like you. So I'm glad we made we made this happen again. I can't believe that your integrity levels are so high, but also that you have such great appreciation for the moment, that despite what happened last night, that you came here, you didn't cancel. Everything's so special. So
I wouldn't cancel it.
So thanks again, man. I think
I wouldn't cancel it.
Yeah. No, I know.
I couldn't cancel it, Louis, because if I cancelled today, I wouldn't have been true to myself, but also...
That's what it is about you.
Yeah, man. Man, I would... Man.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to true to myself, not because of the broadcast, Louis, because I told you, yes, we are going to do it. And yes, we didn't talk about graffiti much, or music, or labels, or whatever, but we spoke about something, and I'm sure now people would have go back to episode 52.
Yeah.
And you put this together, now you know a lot more about my life.
Mm.
And I haven't even said much, but you know a little bit more, because a lot of people could be talking, you know, from their bottom about me and crap and shit. And I'm sure you've gone through this stuff yourself. But man, I've got a lot of love for people, man. And I don't want to give judgment. Who am I, judge and jury? Man, I'm just Peter Psomadelis, Temple, Temps, whatever, call me, Kuruko, fucking whatever you want to call, rockstar, lover, whatever. I'm just me, man. And I have boundaries, I have respect, and I love everyone, and I love women and males. But, you know, I still haven't found someone that could be on my level in a female material stuff. You understand what I'm saying, Lou?
I think I know what you're saying.
It doesn't mean because I'm talking, hello, how are you? You know, I might be talking to this beautiful person or any beautiful lady. It doesn't mean that she could be married. So we've got to show respect and integrity and boundaries.
Mm. Well,
And that's all I wanted to say. I want to say thank you to you, man. And I appreciate it. And the sun's out. We're in Hosier Lane, Melbourne.
oh, you're going to clap it out? Is this it?
Hosier, Melbourne. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. And, you know, I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, support this young gentleman. And I think his show is bloody amazing. Bloody amazing. And hopefully we will have another one very soon down the track. And we can talk about other stuff, you know, and get more into the music and more about my next chapter of life.
I would love that. Peter Psomadelis, it's been a pleasure. Clapping it out.
The end.
Beautifully done, Peter. Well done, man. Well done.
Your turn. Your turn.